Now, in this technical demonstration, we're going to prepare our zone server objects, our computers. Now, keep in mind, we're not going to bring these computers into the environment as of yet. In some cases, these are domain systems. They're already in the domain, so we don't need to bring them in right away. But the reason we're going to pre-create computers is so that we can assign rights and roles ahead of time and check effective rights before those systems are enrolled. So let's go through that process. We're going to do this from the Unix zone, and I'm going to right-click on computers, and I'm going to prepare a Unix computer. Now we're going to prepare this for the AD join process, and we're going to delegate permissions for machine overrides. So we'll go ahead and click Next, and we're going to create a new object. This is a new Unix system that is currently not joined to our domain. We'll go ahead and click Next, and now we're going to give it a name. Now the name should be identified and should match what you have in DNS. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and call this one apps-unix. The DNS name does match what we have in DNS, and as you can see here, this indicates that we're going to create the computer object in this container, but this is not the container we want it in. Remember, all of our management tasks are going to take place within the Centrify OU and not the standard or default computers OU. So we want to make this change. So we're going to go ahead and click the change button, and we're going to go down to Centrify, and within the Centrify OU we have an option for computers. So we'll go ahead and click OK. Now as you can see, it's been changed. We can click Next. Now we can identify the read-only domain controller compatibility and the license type information. Now we're going to leave this as the default because we only have one domain controller, and we'll go ahead and click Next. It's always a good idea to review your SPN or your service principal names and add or remove or adjust where you need to. For this particular demonstration, we're not going to make any changes here, and we're simply going to click Next. Now we can delegate the join permission. Now we're going to allow the computer to join itself to the zone rather than allow a user or a group to do it. So we're going to leave this intact, and we'll click Next. Now we need to delegate the machine overrides. Now again, with machine overrides, we're going to go ahead and delegate them not to the domain admins group, but to the Centrify admins group. So we'll click Browse. We'll change this to Group. And we'll select the Centrify admins group and click Next. And click Next once again. And now as you can see, the computer has been pre-created. There isn't any interruption to the system itself because again, this is just an object that has not been linked to the actual machine. Now if we open up computers, we'll now see the apps Unix system. When we open it, we'll see Unix data and role assignments. The role assignments will be used for local assignments for this machine only. When we see role assignments under the zone, this will apply to all machines within that zone. Let's now talk about the Windows machines. Now, in most cases, our Windows systems are going to be domain joined. So we don't have to move them from the current location into the Centrify environment, but we do need to show that they're going to be joined to a zone. So what we'll do under the Windows zone is we'll right-click on computers and select Prepare Windows Computer. And now from here, we simply search for the system. In this case, Apps Server. And we'll go ahead and select it and press OK. Now, there was no additional work that we needed to do because the system is already joined to the domain. We simply assigned it to a zone. Once again, we haven't applied any role assignments or any specific Windows data to it as of yet. So it's still continuing to operate normally until such time as we've added on the other pieces in the form of the Centrify clients so that we can apply privileged roles to that system and to the users who will use it. Now, Again, within the zone structure, the app server is listed in the Windows zone, but this does not have any effect on the location of the computer. If we go back to the Active Directory users and computers, and I go to my computers group, the app server is still in its original location. So this is not going to move systems within the environment, it's simply going to link them to a zone. If it is a new object, then you'll have the opportunity to have it placed in a specific location, such as Centrify computers, where we pre-created our apps-Unix system.